And everybody's watching this wedding, every single person. And it's, Mom. What?
Cheeseburgers.
I'm filming. Hello, beauties. It is your girl, the Plush Bride, back with another episode of Wedding Wine Wednesdays. On Wednesdays, we wear white wedding dresses while we drink wine. Back with my wine. This week's episode is the royal wedding, of course. I have so many things to talk about. But before we get into it, let's take a couple sips and get it started. Darling, how are you, darling? First of all, I don't own any hats. So this is my fascinator, okay? This is what I'm gonna wear. I don't have tiaras, I don't have anything for my head. I only wear scarves and stuff like that on my head. But this is my little rendition of the fascinator. Let's just talk about it. My girl Meghan, the dress. Simple, understated, Givenchy designed gown. My favorite part, obviously, was the tiara. It was Queen Mary's tiara. And homegirl was wearing a 100-plus-year-old tiara on her head. And she was looking fabulous. But the pomp and circumstance of these royal weddings, I can't get enough of. I don't know if people understand how intense that is. She's biracial, she's American, she's divorced. I mean, I have a huge unnecessary amount of knowledge of the crown and of the, Windsor family. I do not know why, but I just really know from Queen Elizabeth down, I can just spout it off. I'm basically their historian. Don't ask, I don't know. As you know, Prince Harry married Meghan Markle of Suits, because I watched that show, so it's cool. First of all, let's take this off our head now. This is ridiculous. It was an affair to remember, and, he was, of course, joined by his oldest brother, William, and his sister-in-law, Kate, and their 3 kids, and his father, Charles, his stepmother, Camilla, and his grandmother, the Queen of England, and his grandfather, Prince Philip of England. Okay, so, let's be real. The way the dress flowed, I mean, she had 15-meter long train, and then it was just a very simple, understated dress. It was definitely not this. There was no ruching, there was nothing. It was straight lines all day. Straight lines. That was it. Okay? Kate Middleton had lace, long sleeve and all that stuff with a deep plunging neckline, but she had just straight lines because she said she wanted the details in her veil, and I thought that was fantastic. The veil had all 35 Commonwealth's flowers sewn into the veil. Most of the details were put in the veil and not in the dress, and she also had obviously the flower of California, where she was from, also sewn into the dress. Now, the next part about this wedding I have to talk about is how he looked at her. I had a friend who said that man looked like he had never been more sure of anything in his life. And I absolutely agree. If ever you get married, I want to make sure that you have a husband looking at you as if you are the best gift God has ever given you, because that's exactly what he looked like when he was looking at Meghan. It was so intense and it was so beautiful. And he's wiping away tears, and he's telling her how he's lucky to have her, and it was so amazing. And then I'm not gonna even tell you, honestly, I was all the way here for the blackness. I was all the way here for the unapologetic blackness of that wedding. We're gonna sing "Stand By Me" with a gospel choir, and we're gonna do a little sway to it, okay? And we're gonna have the blackest preacher you can find to tell you about sacrifice and how love is sacrificial, and he is going to be intense about it. And I absolutely enjoyed the faces of these British people who had no clue what was happening. They had no clue. And I was here for it. She did have a second dress for her reception, so they did go back to Kensington, change. I think it was Kensington they went back to. But they did go back to Kensington, they changed, and she had on a halter dress. And the halter dress was also very simple and understated. Her mom, the royal family now has a woman with dreadlocks, okay, in their family. Let's just do that. Big ups to the dreadlocks. But the best part was the mother's love, obviously. Like, she was holding back all the emotion and tears, and she was by herself. And so she sat there and just, quietly, emoted her love and happiness for her daughter. Let me tell you something. My daughter gets married to a royal. My daughter is getting married to anybody. At her wedding, I'm going to be sniffling and blubbering and all kinds of stuff. If it's a royal wedding, you couldn't tell me to be, how do you sit and not be weird? I mean, I would have been like, my baby, he's getting married. It's so good. That would be me. They would have kicked us out of the family that same day. They would have stopped the wedding, and there would have been no wedding at all. None. No marriage, period. Her hair, obviously understated. Her makeup, understated. Everything was just simple. Very simple. And I think the reason for that is because the entire event was way bigger than we could ever imagine. I mean, some odd millions of people are watching you get married. Could you imagine you getting married and it's on the same day as the royal wedding? Which I do know somebody who got married on the same day as the royal wedding. But you tell me what you think. Who was your favorite wedding guest? Who was your favorite, moment? What was your favorite thing that you saw? Obviously, Queen Elizabeth giving Meghan the side eye was definitely something to see. But what was your favorite moment? What was your favorite thing about the royal wedding? Sound off in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video. And obviously, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.